Dear beloved Creator within and without, we gather to acknowledge our unity and our collective purpose. We know from deep within that it is up to each of us to hold a moral and ethical line when seeing it crossed. We ask for your protection, Creator, from all hostility and roadblocks that our humankind can live in the abundance and compassionate world you created. So now we are putting on the armor of God, for we know it is up to us. It is you, it is me, it is us. We are the ones who are taking this on and together because it is our calling to put a halt, a full stop, and then a correction to the harm that is coming at us, and especially at our children. They are the innocent ones. As their protectors, we can no longer be naive, passive, or uninformed. And so we gather our spirits in your name, Creator of all that is. Let it be so. So it is.
Thank you, Charlie.
Pleasure.
Hello, my name's Ron Vroman. I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. I'm going to read this because I don't want to leave parts out or stumble over words. This is important, and it's individually important to each of you that may have been wronged. And I think we can, okay, how to finance the return to a de jure United States government. How do we fix it? We need to restore laws defined by the Declaration of Independence, comma, the Confederation and Perpetual Union's apostrophe articles, one of which is the United States of America's apostrophe S Constitution circa 1859 through 1860, including the 13 lawful amendments, the last ratified in 1819, 33 states and commonwealths among the several states, statutes at large, and treaties. That is the first law of the land. All constitutions of the 33 members of the Confederation and Perpetual Unions, the United States of America, when coupled with Oregon's Constitution circa 1859, and the others have to figure out their stuff. The SAL of 1858 was written after Grant and Lee signed an armistice. At that moment, the fix was in on Oregon. They backdated the SAL of 1858. It contains fraud upon the people. The evidence is still in the preponderance of evidence that Amendment 13 and TONA is legitimate. Sorry about the dogs. We'll see if that worked. Okay, the evidence is in a preponderance on the legitimacy of 13 TONA. That's true. Oregon's apostrophe S history books, 2 written by Matthew Didi, were published after the Grant and Lee armistice. They scrubbed 13 TONA, and we do not know what else they did. Their de facto state of Oregon, aka State of Oregon, all caps, apostrophe S, Secretary of State, apostrophe S, office, and the state archives through 4 or 5 of the last different oath taken secretaries and of both parties. They have refused to provide proof of their office of the or our statehood documents, the contract. That is the contract between the several states of the United States of America and Oregon. Oregon is the last state with original jurisdiction. That was 1859. South Carolina seceded in 1860. No more original jurisdiction in their de facto governance. It is all color of law from then on. I claim they know this and they do it knowingly and intentionally. This has been perpetuated by all of those elected to the United States of Washington District of Columbia, a foreign state to Oregon, the current iteration of DC, and all of those preceding are/were 14th Amendment citizens of the U.S. A color of law fiction, as there is a preponderance of evidence against the 14th ratification and no evidence that it was ever an amendment, therefore enacted to the fraud. Therefore elected to the fraud. Therefore they know there is no original jurisdiction present. That is misprision of felony. They know it and don't do anything about it. And that morphs into accessory after the fact to a felony of treason, which morphs into misprision of treason federally. All of those of, for, by, in, with the current United States of Washington District of Columbia. This is to be corrected this year, 2023. See you on Philadelphia. I'm seeking August and will be done and home for harvest. The entire Oregon de facto incorporated governance is on the cusp. Either they take a proper oath to a proper de jure Oregon Constitution pre 1910, or they morph into treason. They've already gone through the other steps with incontrovertible evidence. This will be taken to a lawful and a legal grand jury for presentments and true bills. When a de facto state of Oregon prosecutor receives a presentment from us or anybody else and does not act, that becomes a responsibility for or to be found with Private Attorney General by the United States Congress, 42 U.S.C. 1988. I'll say it again. 42 U.S.C. 1988 and 18 U.S.C. 1510 and 18 U.S.C. 1512. And to be known as one of the people, also qualified criminal investigator and federal witness, and by living testimony without rebuttal. Their charge is RICO and class action. Convert the illegal into illegitimate, and then return the illegitimate de facto to a legitimate de jure, original jurisdiction. Undo the fraud. Fix it. I claim that each state, commonwealth, or territory is similar and was flipped from de jure to de facto. The flip date, don't know. And was it exacerbated by multiple flips? Like Ohio has 3 constitutions and Texas, I don't know, has 4. What's real? On Oregon, we're dealing with one and they hid it like children, criminals. I digress. We are doing Oregon, and the we is the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly, aka Article 1, Section 1. I'm going to read it. We declare that all men, when they form a social compact, are equal in right, that all power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness. And they have at all times a right to alter, reform, or abolish the government in such manner as they may think proper. That's who we are, the Provisional Government of Oregon. Acquiesced to and defaulted by all of them. Criminals. We're fixing it. Okay. We're doing Oregon. Now I'm going to read full faith and credit, and you have to kind of look that up in the Constitution if you don't know what it means, or suffer through my adaptation. Uh, Anything we have in Oregon is yours on any other state, commonwealth, or territory. And anything you have is ours for our peace, safety, and happiness, for our betterment, full faith and credit. With full faith and credit, governing law is established in this document at this time to be the Declaration of Independence, the Articles of Confederation and Perpetual Union, Oregon's original Constitution circa 1859, and the United States of America's apostrophe S Constitution circa 1859, and ORCP 20A, Clearfield Doctrine, Accardi Doctrine, Ex parte Young, Ex parte Milligan, McCarran-Walters Act 1952, the Judiciary Act 1789, Section 32, Judgment Nihil Dicit, are all specifically called into this document. They are all governing laws which must be accepted. The current 13th and 14th Amendments are bogus and must be rejected. Take heed of the Blackstone commentaries. The Department of Justice is agent to the entity responsible for the enumerated responsibilities of Article 3. The one Supreme Court that must claim original jurisdiction to be a court, I would consider to have jurisdiction when found in conjunction with Amendment 7 Court. The DOJ has failed miserably in their responsibility. We must do it ourselves. We define the words we use, and we decide our method of communication. We, the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly, aka Article 1, Section 1, and blah, blah, blah forever, we offer our Article 3, Amendment 7 court through our grand jury process. specifically designed for one claim with incontrovertible evidence on one page, with the precise evidence to support your claim of one violation of due process punishable in 18 USC 3571 at 250K Federal Reserve notes. I wish I knew how long this had been recording. Basically, what we're looking for is all of those people, like myself, that have gone to a court or been mistreated by a judge or a court, children, family services, Oregon Health Authority, the oligarchy in Salem, and everybody else that has one claim, solid, with proof, evidence, incontrovertible, like we used for Kate Brown. Did you ever vote for or uphold some change or infringement on the Second Amendment? And it was a million times in the public domain. Yeah, she did that. So there's nothing to decide. It's done. The grand jury hears it, sees the evidence. There's nothing to be said. It's true. There's your presentment and there's your true bill. Fact. So you send that to the prosecutors, and the prosecutors do whatever they're doing. That's over in the illegitimate or illegal or whatever de facto incorporated governance being operated unlawfully out of Salem and by every single one of the sheriffs, DAs, and so forth. They're all in on it. That's called the de facto. Now, has the de facto ever done you an absolute disservice, put you in jail, taking your kids, whatever it was, made you wear a mask, get a shot, and you have incontrovertible evidence of it? Write it up on one page. Write it up as living testimony in the form of an affidavit of truth, and you can get how to do that right here. Write it up one page. Signed, sealed, stamped, delivered, witnessed, and get it to me, and I'll put it in front of the grand jury. And if the grand jury agrees they did you wrong, we'll put that in front of the court. And when the court's jury makes a verdict, it has no appeal in law, and we'll take that to bonding agents, risk management, treasurer of Oregon, wherever we have to take it to collect what they in their own jurisdiction define as the payment for what they did to you. The fine, the penalty, 250K each time. Bang. That's how we finance it. They'll pay for their guilty actions themselves. And I yield.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. Then he jumps out of the car, and he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.